Oh, hello everybody. So today I'm sitting up in the hospital and I'm looking at myself and I look so tired and I look so drained. But I just took my pain medicine and today was actually a better day than yesterday. Yesterday I was in so much pain that they had me on so much medicine that I could not function. Tomorrow will make a week that I have been in the hospital, but I ain't tripping on none of that because I know God is a healer. I know that God is in control. And I was having some problems with my throat. I'm having problems swallowing. And they've done CAT scans, they've done um, this other test, like a swallow test. And none of them show anything, but yet still my tonsils on the right side are still swollen. But anyway, other than that, I'm fine. Well, I ain't gonna say I'm fine, but I'm getting there. I'm recovering from my second hip replacement surgery because the first one something happened. They had to go back in there and reconstruct some things and try to get it to heal. So I've had two surgeries in a month. Um, Let me turn this off to make sure y'all can hear me. But so all this time I just been sitting up here with all this time on my hands and just having a lot to think about. Um, just thinking a lot about a lot of different things about how back in the day when I just suffered from financial problems or um, just little stuff like that, I'd be sitting up thinking like, wow, I wish that was my only problem now. Because at least when I did suffer from financial problems back in the day, I knew ways how to go out there and make that money. I had different hustles. I worked. I could pick up overtime, stuff like that. Or when I thought my life was so bad, when I was heartbroken, I wish that was my only problem. Now that I'm older, like I could go up against that 10 toes down. But what I have learned too, I can go up this against this 10 toes down because of my strong relationship with God. So even though I have a lot going on, I choose to still trust God and love God because He first loved me. Um, but I just sit up and I listen to people that haven't really lived or haven't really just been through nothing major yet. They're young. And then not even just so much being young. So many people are so judgmental. Like they feel like because, oh, my life is this, and this. Or because they've had some problems, some real bad problems, but they kept it quiet. It was under the rug. It wasn't public. It wasn't out there. So when people's stuff ain't been out there, you know, they still try to pass judgment on others. And I say this because I've been thinking of my girl Peach. No, I don't know Peach McIntyre personally, but I admire her. I admire her because even though she's younger than I am, I think Peach is 33 or 34. I'm not sure. So, girl, excuse me if I get it wrong. I'll be on medication. I have a lot going on. But anyway, and I'm about to be 46 next month. Um, but it just goes to show that you can learn stuff from people that are even younger than you. Because I sit up and I listen to a lot of the stuff that she says, and that's why I love her so much. Because I feel like she keep it 100. She admits to her shit. She's living her life unapologetically out loud, and she's doing the damn thing. And I was thinking about her today, like if only she knew how much she's done for me. And I'm not trying to get no clout. I'm not trying to dick ride, as they say, or whatever. No, I'm just one of the people. I try to keep it 100. It is what it is in my book. I don't have to lie. I don't have to fake. I don't have to front. And she puts her life out there. She let y'all say what y'all gotta say, but she keep doing her, taking care of her kids, doing what she gotta do for her family, and I respect that. I really do because at her age, I was still trying to act like it was all good because I didn't want people to know that I fucked up or I failed or I didn't want to feel like a failure or I didn't want people to know that I was broke at times or I didn't want people to know that I was struggling at times or I didn't want people to know that I had been through this and been through that and you know it's crazy because she's in her early 30s. In my early 30s, I was in a jacked up, fucked up relationship with an older man that loved me but didn't know how to love me. He thought that loving me was as long as the bills was paid, I should be satisfied and shut the fuck up. Or he didn't want me to do anything. He didn't want me to go anywhere. He didn't even like the fact that I hung out at my auntie's or I went over to my mom and them house or that I would like to go out, for girls' night. Sometimes he would trip even if we went to the freaking movies. Like I did never really hang with a lot of outside females, but I had girl cousins. But I'm the oldest of the girl cousins, and I ain't got like okay, like a couple of them. Like I had like two whole cousins, but they was the baby babies. Like they was hot girl summer before hot girl summer even came along. But I kept telling him, if you think I'm such a hoe, then why you with me? You know what I'm saying? I'm at home taking care of your kids, taking care of my kids. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm making sure everybody done took a bath, the clothes is washed. You know what I'm saying? We had so many kids, we had to live in two separate houses. I had my apartment because back then I was on low income. I had a low income apartment in our little projects, whatever. And he had a house that was left to him, by his mom, and it was a 3 bedroom, one bath. I had a 3 bedroom, one bath at my house, but with his 5 kids, and then my 4 kids and my grandson, we couldn't all live in one space, but we made it work. So, and then the town that I live in is very small. It's not that big. Everybody pretty much know everybody. And I kept telling him, if you think I'm cheating on you, why you with me? Or, of course, it's small. If I was cheating on you, you would know it. Because people talk, everybody at all the churches know each other. We didn't have that many clubs. The clubs know each other. And then it was kind of like he just only wanted me to do what he wanted me to do. If he felt like going out, then we could go out. If he felt like going to the grocery store, then that's the kind of shit he wanted me to do at 33, 34 years old, you know, 31. Because I was with him from the time I was 31 until I was 36 and a half, something like that. So I was like 36. So the kind of stuff he wanted me to do was just go to the grocery store, go eat. That's all he wanted me to do. And my mama used to tell me, that man just trying to feed you and keep you big and get you bigger so that if he try to leave you, nobody else won't want you, because he was real jealous. Like, how I got this blonde in my hair right here, he wasn't going for that. How I got my hair cut short, he wasn't going for that. He wanted everything all natural, no makeup. When we first got together, I was talking about, oh, I need to go get my nails done. He was like, what you need to go get your nails done for? I said, hold on, let's straighten this out right now. I said, I don't care if I use your money, My money, Obama's money. I'm getting my nails done. I said, I've been getting my nails done since I was 13 years old. And you're not gonna stop me from getting my nails done. We not gonna do that. This man was so jealous, y'all. I would kind of use the nail shop as like, like my me time. Do you know this man will ride by the nail shop to make sure that I was there? And the nail shop I went to was in like a little plaza, which you can ride by and look through the front window and see everybody in there. He would do that. Or sometimes he would ride by, and if I was in there, he would get out the car, come inside, sit down with his newspaper, and read it and sit there with me. And then, oh, I came to pay for your nails. Just an excuse to make sure that I'm at where I'm saying I'm going to be at and to see where I'm going to go after I leave the nail shop. That kind of stuff. Or he would get mad if I put on decent clothes, which I've always put on decent clothes. But he just said, what you got to get dressed to go to Walmart for? I was like, what you think I'm going to go in my pajamas? What you got to get dressed to go to HEB for? What you think I'm just going to go in this little raggedy dress? Like, who does that? I've never been the type to like to walk around looking a hot mess. Now I have going through self-esteem issues, messing with these niggas that didn't want me to do nothing with myself, just wanted me to walk around looking a mess so they could feel good about themselves. But I'm so glad that I got through the battle with the low self-esteem, and because I went through like a bad battle of low self-esteem, and I think that's how I ended up with his ass. Because in my mind, I would want to leave him and stuff, but then I would be like, well, at least he's here, at least he's with me, at least he's not afraid to be seen in public with me, at least I have a man. Those are the kind of things that would go through my head when I was with him in my early 30s. And that's why I say, like, people say stuff about Peach, but she keeps it real. Her self-esteem ain't low. She take good care of her kids, and I always took good care of my kids as well. But, like, there's times that he would get upset at me and talk shit to me, and I would take it out yelling and stuff at the kids. Go sit y'all ass down somewhere. And them kids ain't even did nothing but want to give me love and affection. But I'm upset about other things. So that's why, like, even at 46, well, almost 46, and she's in her early 30s, I always will still look up to her. People try to talk down on her. People try to bash her. People try to act like she's stupid. She this, and that. And I even talk to my kids about her because I have younger daughters. And I have asked them, I've told them, to go check her out and follow her. Because I have a younger daughter that's 25. She has 3 kids. She have a man. And people try to get in her business and tell her, hey, this is that. But one thing about my daughters are a lot stronger than I was at their age. Their self-esteem is way better than mine was at their age. But because I try my best to instill that in them, because I didn't want them to be anything like how I was at a young age. And my mama used to tell me that I was pretty and stuff, but me and my mom also had a damaged ass relationship, because anything that I ever went through as a child, even though I still feel like a lot of it was her fault, we never talked it out. We never like, I was afraid to have those conversations with her. So my plan in life when I had kids was to always make my kids feel like they could talk to me about anything. But it took a minute to learn how to do that. You know, I'm still learning. And I had to learn that I can't be yelling, cussing, and screaming at them if I want them to be able to come to me when they have something going on, whether it's good or bad. Because, like, even with my son right now, he's 20 years old. He has anxieties about coming to me about certain things because he says he feels like it's going to be like when he was a kid and that I'm just going to instantly start yelling and screaming. And, you know, I've apologized and we talk about it. And I tell him, you know, I was wrong. It was my fault. It was part of a generational curse because that's what I was used to. But as a family, with me and my kids, my sister, her kids, we trying to learn to communicate better. Because I don't want anything that I've been through, you know, in my younger days to have, and they've been through to hinder their future relationships of raising their kids and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so the boyfriend that I had, which I've always referred to as my husband, really he's the longest relationship, constant relationship that I had. It was like 5 years or so. But he was like a good provider. He was good on family stuff, like as far as going to the kids' awards assemblies or anything the kids had at school, anything they needed when it was time to go school shopping, when it was time to go on our summer family vacations, playing football in the yard with my son and his sons, and trampoline in the backyard, you know, for the kids, and just anything the kids needed. He was that bomb ass dad, like he really was for all of them. And because me being molested as a child, it was always hard for me to trust men around my daughters and my son. So I think that's another reason why I never had long relationships. And then I also feel like that's another reason why I put up with his shit for so long, because I felt like I could trust him with my kids. You know, I would let him, you know what I'm saying, take the kids places and not be worried. Or, you know, the kids could be at home with him while I was at work or whatever and not feel no type of way. You know, and of course I questioned my kids because that's just how I was. And he knew it. And we would have conversations and he would always let the kids know that he would kill for them, you know. And he had his daughters and all our kids was raised brother and sister. Even now, we ain't been together in years, but the kids still call each other brothers and sisters. They still have a relationship. Um, and like him and I are friends right now. We've been friends, but we just cannot be in a relationship because to this day he's still very jealous and controlling. And me being me that I am now, because I don't mind being by myself. I don't mind not having a man because I'd rather be by myself than go through that shit again, ever. You know, he knows it. You know, he knows how he is, and he admits to the way he is. And I'm not that person because me, I like to get fly. I like to get cute. The only reason why my nails ain't done is because I've been out this hospital, you know, for the last month. But I keep my feet done, my hair, my eyelashes, all that stuff, makeup. That's me. I'm that girl. And he can't handle it. He couldn't stand with some. We would go somewhere and somebody would give me a compliment about my eyes or my hair or how pretty I looked or, oh, I like your earrings. Like, he did not like that. He was like top flight security. If somebody spoke to me and we didn't know them, he told me one time that before I speak to a man, that I should introduce them first before I speak to them. I was like, sometimes you ain't got that kind of time. You know, you might be just walking past somebody. Hey, how you doing? It could be somebody you went to school with, or you might know their wife, or y'all might have worked together, like anything like that. One time he came to my job. I used to work for like an outside company to work for CPS, Child Protective Service. And this other black guy worked too, but he was like the janitor and I was like a clerk or whatever, and we just so happened to walk into the same building. He threw a fit. Well, why was he going in that same up? Because we both work at the same place. Like, it was so bad. So, like, at one point, he didn't want me to work because he felt like that if I work, I could cheat on him. And I was like, if you think I'm gonna cheat on you, why even put yourself through all that? It's best for you to just be by yourself. I said, I'm not a cheater. Like, I'm with you because I want to be with you, but you making me not want to be with you with all this extra bullshit. I would cook, clean up, like, I just, everything that a wife and a woman should do. It even got to the point, y'all, that he tried to move me to Delaware. All the way to Delaware. And I felt like that he was trying to do that to get me away from everybody that I know, because he felt like that would give him more control. I remember we had a whole argument in the driveway, and my cousin was down here from DC because he was trying to convince her to convince me that I need to get out of the state of Texas. And every time I talk to him to this day, he still keeps telling me he gonna move. We've been apart for over 10 years. Or about 10 years, and he ain't went nowhere. But you talk about me not wanting to move. Oh, you need to grow up, and this is my mama still living. You need to grow up and leave your mom. What you gonna do? You need to cut the cord. Sometimes you can't just be attached to her your whole life, and this is that. He's still here. But I told him, I said, what's easy for you to say when you don't have your mom? At that time, I was like, you don't have your mom anymore. So why would you want me to jump up and just leave away from my mom? And I'm so glad that I wasn't that weak and my self-esteem wasn't that low that I would just up and leave my family, who's always been here for me. And then look at him, like, I've been in the hospital. I haven't seen him. He called, but it just wasn't for us. Like I said, we good friends, but I'm just so glad that I just didn't totally let that relationship take control of my life. It got so bad to where I was praying for God to show me a way out because I really loved him. So it hurt me to leave, to break up our little family and stuff. But at the same time, I kept feeling like if I stayed, that I was so stressed out that I was going to end up getting an aneurysm. I was going to end up having a stroke or a heart attack. And it got to the point like my son started getting angry because he got tired of hearing us arguing. It wasn't beneficial for nobody at that point. Like, it had got bad. Thank God that he wasn't physically abusive to where he put his hands on me. But even the verbal and the mental abuse was horrible. It started to get really bad. And like I said, a lot of people don't know a lot of the stuff that I went through in that relationship. Because when we were around family and friends, he was so sweet. And he was sweet. He did have a sweet side. I never had to worry or want for anything. We went out to dinner, dates all the time. And part of him trying to fix things was every Friday night was date night. Well, we'd actually get dressed because I like to get dressed. And I used to tell him, like, I don't care about really going out, but I liked to go places where I could get dressed, do my makeup, do my hair, like, feel like a lady, get glammed, and go out, show me off, show you off, like, just listen to some music, have a couple of drinks. I like that, and it got to the point, at one point, well, we just need to start going out of town more because corporates and, this and this. It's like it was always an excuse after the other, one after the other, one after the other, of why we couldn't do this, that, and the other. So then it was like we started going to Houston more. But it was no different. Okay, that's Houston. We in Corpus. We still doing the same shit. We going out to eat. We going to the little hole in the walls. Then it got to where he would only feel comfortable if I went to gay clubs. Because I guess he feel like, oh, well, I ain't gonna cheat on him at the gay club. Like, it was just crazy. It was really crazy. And when I think back now on all of this, I'm like, I can't believe I put up with it so long. Like, back then I had real full, big boobies, titties. So I always wore good bras that made my titties sit up high. Because to me, being a big girl, especially back then, because big girls wasn't popular like we are now. I'm just gonna say it like that. Um, so I would try to always feel like, well, I gotta work with what I got. And back then, 10, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, big girls wasn't wearing their stomachs out and wearing short shorts and not a lot of us, all that kind of stuff. So I would always try to wear stuff to show my shoulders or show my cleavage, something that would make me feel sexy because I was just trying to work with what I had. Man, one time I put on a dress and it was kind of like a little cute tie-dye dress, but it came down in the front. And now that I think back on the dress was kind of like country looking, but I thought it was cute back then, and I was just trying to fit into his little bubble, um, so that he would be all right with it. I guess I would say, because at one point I did kind of like start to bow down to him so that I would keep from having to argue about shit. Oh shit. So I had the little dress on. Well, it came down like right here, but back then my titties was way up here. I done lost so much weight. Now I ain't really got none. But anyway, this fool went in Dollar General and bought these little cloths that you stick inside your dress and you clip them on the sides and it covers up your cleavage. Like an old church lady. I was done. I was so outdone. I was embarrassed because he had one of his friends was in the car with us. And so for him to go in there and do that, I felt embarrassed. I don't know if he felt embarrassed because I was showing cleavage. It wasn't a whole lot. And it was really cute. Like, it was really kind of sexy. And maybe his little self-esteem kicked in, I think, to where maybe he was jealous and might have thought that his homeboy might have been looking, or I don't know, but it was crazy. And I just felt so like I just wanted to climb up under a chair and hide. That's how I felt like. I was embarrassed because I'm like, I'm a grown ass woman. And so for my man just to take it that far, excuse me, to where he would go in there and buy something like I was in a damn, lived out in the sticks or somewhere. It was horrible. It was really horrible. Like, if I could just run down a list of all the embarrassing shit that this man done, um, like right now, this day and age, I will put on a two-piece and go to the water park. But not not back then. So yeah, like if now, the me now and the me then is so different. Because he would never let me like how we have Hurricane Alley down here, and me and the kids go, and I wear my bathing suit and my chanclas and my hat. He would never go for that. Like, there's no way I could go there in a two-piece, or either some shorts and like a little top. He would trip. He would flip the fuck out. Like, no, it would not work for him. So I'm so glad I got out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so glad that I didn't stay and continue to be controlled. And I'm telling you, when me and him broke up, like finally broke up, was we broke up so many times. But when we finally broke up and it was completely over, things just started to open, doors started to open for me. Stuff started to fall in line. I ended up getting a new place, a new car in my life. Like I feel like a ton of bricks just have been lifted. Here go the blood pressure cuff. Oh, it's down. It's mixed up in the stuff down here. I just feel like a load of bricks was lifted off of me, and I thank God for that. Okay, so yeah, that controlling shit, that jealousy shit, you'll make excuses time and time again because you'll be believing that shit. That they only act like that because they love you. That they only act like that because they want what's best for you. But at the end of the day, it's something fucked up within them. It really don't even have nothing to do with you. I mean, it do because you continue to allow it and deal with it. But it's something that they dealing with as well. It's something you dealing with because you stay. But it's something that they dealing with because they do it. Like I couldn't believe somebody would be that jealous. And I thank God time and time again that he wasn't abusive because I'd probably be dead. You know, he did kind of like, he tried to kick my door in one time, chase me in the car. I was in one car, he was in the other car because he thought that Friends You May Know was somebody I knew was fucking with on Facebook. And he jumped in his car, chased me from his house to the apartment that I had. And I'm on the phone calling my daughter's like, open the door. Your daddy's chasing me. I jump out, run in the house, barely made it, and we closed the door on him. Locked the door. He started kicking the door. Boom, boom. Trying to kick it in. We broke up. 3 days later, we back together. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, who else am I going to be with? You know, it just had got so bad. And then I had became financially dependent on him. You know, after I had blew through my savings and because I used to have a little nest egg, you know, well, then some stuff happened with my vehicle breaking, and then we had went on a family trip, and I blew a lot of money. So I'm like, and I wasn't working because he didn't want me to work at this time, and I'm like, well, damn, if I leave him, who's gonna pay the bills? You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. And I was praying, and I was praying, and that's when I had got real big, like started going back to church, being involved in church more because I was just so lost. I ain't gonna lie. I was so lost. So it's like one day, like as big as day, I heard God tell me, I was taking care of you before you ever even knew who he was. I swear to God, I heard that as plain as day. And that is when I chose to leave and never go back. And that's what I'm saying. As soon as I did that, so many doors started opening. Like I said, I was able to move out of my project and get a regular apartment, get another car. A lady came and set a job in my lap. Just set a job in my lap. Well, I had already applied for my disability because I had blew out my knee. Um, but so I was ended up getting the disability and still working the job because the job wasn't a whole lot of hours and a whole lot of money, but with my disability and with that job, everything was perfect. I was able to pay out my bills, not have to struggle. Like, and then you know when you first start getting disability, you get that little lump sum. That came right on time for me to be able to pay the deposit for the apartment, be able to pay somebody to help me move. Like everything just fell into place. Like wonderfully fell into place. It really did. And that was nothing but the grace of God. I heard God tell me, I've been taking care of you since before you ever knew this man. And that's when I left and I never went back. Now, was I lonely at times? Yes. but it wasn't worth the drama, the jealousy, the controlling, all that. It felt so good to be able to just get in my car and take my kids and go to the park, even though I loved his kids, but be able to go to my mama's and sit there all day if I want to. Not nobody asking me where you going when you get off of work, or why you at the nail shop so long, or sorry, why you had to put that on to go to the nail shop, or why you had to get dressed to go to Walmart. All that kind of stuff. Like, it relieves so much stress off of me, like you would not believe. And so, like I said, even though me and him are cool to this day, I'm so glad we're not together. And he knows it. I've told him how I felt. So I just say that if you were going through something like that, you're going through something similar, use your own mind. Because, like, I loved him, but now that I think about it, I don't love him. I didn't love him like that. Like, I just loved him because I had low self esteem. I loved him because I thought nobody would ever want to be with me that long. And at first when I was with him, I thought the jealousy was cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he really loved me. He really cared about me. He really think I'm beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Look how he acting behind me in my mind. This is what I'm thinking. I'm young. I'm stupid. Not knowing that shit ain't healthy. You know what I'm saying? And I really didn't tell nobody to talk to him about it, to get no advice, or, we didn't have social media wasn't big like it was, like it is now, to where you could sit up and listen to other people's stories and learn stuff. That's why I say I learned a lot from Peach. She's younger, but she living her life out loud. She's not sugarcoating shit. So that's what I'm saying. All y'all people that be trying to judge her, but y'all done been through some shit too. But y'all think because people don't know y'all's business, then y'all could judge her. Or maybe y'all haven't been through some shit because maybe nobody don't want y'all. You know what I'm saying? The people can say whatever they want to say about me. I don't care. Because I've learned. And I've grown. And I got a backbone. And I'm not afraid to admit of anything that I've ever been through. Anything I've ever done. Yeah, and it took a long time for me to get to this point. And she is part of the reason that I can sit up here and have this kind of... God, I give him all the glory first. But I'm telling you, I've been following her for a while now. And she helps me with wanting to do better things, not having a problem being me. Because I suffered with being molested and being abused and being neglected for so many years. But I was afraid to speak up because I was embarrassed. But I'm not embarrassed no more. Because the shit I went through wasn't my fault. So why should I walk around being embarrassed about some shit that I was a kid I had no control of? So I'm still working on me. But like sitting up in this hospital, she's encouraging me. I've been trying to make at least one video a day, even when I couldn't hardly talk. Because she said consistency is key. And it is. I also, before I came in the hospital, I was like, well, let me do my hair, put my eyelashes on, because that's me. That's what makes me feel good. And I had to make it about me. Was sitting up in the mirror every day watching myself lose all this weight, going through this battle I'm going through, and all these illnesses and the devil trying to beat me down. But every time I start going through stuff, I think about Peach and what her daddy told her. Life is full of adversity, and it is, and I know that it is. But I'm just going to continue to keep God first. And just keep to push through. And I'm thankful for her. And I've been thinking about making this video all day. I know people gonna say I'm dick riding. I don't care. Y'all can say what y'all want to about her. Y'all can say what I want to about me. I'm not trying to get no clout off of nobody because at the end of the day, my bills is gonna be paid. I'm gonna be okay. Life is gonna be great. Life is great because I'm still here. And my saying always, long as I wake up in the morning, I have another chance to get it right. And God works miracles every day. And that's my main concern. You know what I'm saying? My kids is grown. I got grandkids, but I want to be able to better me so that I can be better for them. Be able to give them advice. And how can I give them advice if I'm not keeping it real? See, she's still young. She still have younger kids. My youngest baby is 18. But with all the stuff that I've learned from somebody younger, you know, I can talk to my kids and I'm able to have better conversations with them because I understand life through a younger person's eyes and just different things. Like I'm not gonna yell. I don't yell at them anymore. I don't trip with them. I don't judge them because everybody make mistakes. Everybody's gonna go through some shit. And I always want my kids to feel comfortable with being able to come to me, talk to me, cry to me, hug me, lay on me, like. And me and my girls, we have such a wonderful relationship, and I'm thankful for that. So I just say this: don't let nobody make you feel bad about you and who you are. Keep doing your shit. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't get your sugar.
Y'all just love poking me.
It's bracelet.
Oh, look, I had a peppermint, but it hasn't been hot the whole time.
That's right.
Yeah, let's do another pan, 'cause on the side. Yeah, they checking my sugar again. It hasn't been high, but I don't want to talk shit and then it shoot up. But I ain't never had a high sugar. My doctor just likes to have something to say. He just try to convince me that I'm diabetic,
And
and
you're
I'm not
not.
on no kind of medicine. Did you get some?
Yeah.
Look,
160.
116, y'all. Uh, anyway, so yeah, don't let nobody make you feel bad about being you. Do you. Do what feels good to you. If you in a relationship, if you have problems with your relationship, that is your business. Because can't nobody make you tired until you tired. Can't nobody make you quit until you ready to quit. I've seen so many people, they've been together 30, 40, 50 years. People think that these people have been together for all these years and they never had no problems. That's bullshit. They just kept people out their business. And eventually, I feel like in relationships like that, that things finally become full circle. Because sometimes the woman will mature faster than the man. So that has a lot to do with it. Or sometimes one in the relationship is ready to change, the other one isn't. I had a homeboy. I'm saying a guy I know. He became my homeboy because he used to be taking care of all their kids while his girl would be. We lived in the same projects back in the day, and he would always come through my breezeway, pushing a little baby in the stroller, going to the store, or just getting the kids out the house while the baby mama was out doing her thing, getting drunk, popping pills, this, and that. Well, some shit ended up happening um, where she ended up having to go away, but he still held it down and stayed right there with her. She changed her life. They had more kids, and now they doing great. They bought a house. You know what I'm saying? They're doing good. So it's not always the man. Sometimes it's the woman too. I've seen it happen with men and women. The dude um, out there. Okay, this one girl. She been in love with this dude since she was a teenager. But he always wanted to be out there in the streets. He'd had kids by other women and did all his thing. But now they living together, and what seems like they finally getting. She's finally getting what she wanted. The him that she wanted, the mature him, the good dad him, the not selling drugs him, the staying out of jail him. So things are finally going good for them. Sometimes it just takes time for things to come full circle. But long as ain't nobody putting their hands on you, hurting you, trying to kill you, stealing your shit, whatever. Which I can't even say that because people are gonna put up with what they want to put up with. But never let nobody try to tell you when to leave or when to stay. At the end of the day, it's your choice. Your choice. But all I can say is think about the kids and think about yourself. And that's just all we can do. But you can't never let nobody call you stupid. Or they can call you stupid, but you ain't got to feed into that shit. Because the asshole's always going to have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, don't nobody know what go on in your household unless you tell them or unless they there. Some people going to assume stuff all day long. But let them. So y'all keep doing you. Keep loving yourself. And just do what you got to do. But just remember, you don't get time back as well. Remember, if you like this video, remember to hit like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much.